a while, we haven't done it in a while, but every once in a while we do some live practice. And why do we do this? Well, because we try to get used to talking to the camera. And if anybody shows up, fantastic. Just come along for the ride. If you want to see anything, we're just practicing. Do I have anything to drink? No, I drank it all. My drink is gone. So let's see what we want to practice today. We've got some rope stuff here. Let's do this. And here, why don't we do something with this? Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. We'll do something with that. That's a trick that we haven't seen on the channel yet. Or, well, we've seen it on the channel. We just haven't seen it in the trick a day stuff. Let's see here. I like these cards. Those cards are fun. Let's see here. Got my bicycles. Maybe it's in this one. And let's do this one. And let's do. Where's the other things over here with these ones? There we go. And let's do these ones. Okay. Are these right? These are right. Okay. So we're going to do a couple of card tricks. We're going to do a couple of other tricks. We've got our pen here. We've got our ropes here. A couple of different sizes of ropes. Yeah, so we're going to try to figure out the flow of how we want to do tricks and whatnot and all that fun stuff. So let's do that. Like this can go right here in my little pocket here. I can use that to write down notes and stuff like that. We've got our cards here. We've got to send these out. So keep that in mind. We've got to send those out. What else we got here that we want to try? Let's see. We can try this. And then I like this one here. Yeah. Okay. So let's, yeah. Okay, so we're going to try this. So we got this over here, we got this over here. Let's pull you back and let's push this back. Hopefully nothing falls. Yes, we're just practicing some tricks. And let's start with our rope stuff. So we have 3 different lengths of rope. We got a long one, we got a medium one that goes on top of the head, just so you don't know, and then we got a short one. So basically, what we talk about with the ropes here, there's a lot of different things to consider. And one of the things that I always talk about is this. So just like in life, right? So you've got 3 different sizes, and just like people come in all different shapes and sizes. And basically, what do? But we try to get them all to be the same. Okay, relatively the same size there. See, this one doesn't quite match up. So now we've got 3 ropes that are relatively the same size, and we're just giving them a little bit of a pull. But as you can see, something's not quite right here. Yeah, because we messed up. But that's okay. We're just practicing. That's what we're talking about here. So when people, yeah, here we go. When people, they try to get them all the same size, and it always seems to kind of mess up for them. So here we go. This should be a little bit better. Nope, we did the same thing again. Oh, here we go. We forgot to bring that one up. Okay, that's better. And this one. There we go. We got one person watching. We're doing a live practice. We're practicing some rope stuff. So for this particular trick, you've got all these ropes, and people always try to get people to be the same size. That's what we're saying here. We're saying that these ropes kind of represent people in a way. So what if we did that? Okay, now all the people. Hey, MC. Oh, I just flopped stuff right on the floor. Good stuff. So we're just doing a live practice. We're doing some rope stuff here. It gives me a chance to talk to the camera. If people show up, great. That means I've got some feedback. That's all we're really doing today. So we've got some nice little ropes here. And now they're all the same size. So we absolutely love that, right? So what if we were to do something like this? Okay. And now we've got the ropes. We've got 1 rope. We've got 2 ropes. And now we've got 3 ropes, all of which are the same size. That's what we like to do. So why don't we go ahead and we're going to take this one here and we're going to put it over top of our head, and then let's go ahead and tie it off, because we want everybody to be the same size. All the people are going to be the same size as everybody else. That's what we're talking about here in life. Okay? And then what we do is we put them all in the same box, right? We just wrap them all up together, because that's where we put everybody together in the same little thing. But as quickly as that happens, all the people start to resist, right? And as they come back out, you notice that people, even as you can see, as quick as that, people have already returned. They've already returned back to their normal state of 3 different sizes, because people will resist. They will resist and resist and resist. So there you have it. So there's a quick little rope trick for you. And let's go into something else that we've got going on here. So the video that we uploaded today was for some rope magic, because my daughter was in here and she wanted to see rope magic, so that's what we were working on. We've got a couple of different nice ones here for you. This rope is not a trick rope, it's a regular piece of rope, okay? But this rope does have some extra properties to it, and what that is this. As you pull them together, just like so, you will see and see and see and see that at some point the rope actually will melt through itself. So that's kind of cool, right? I like to wear ties. I don't know if you guys like to wear ties, but I'm a big fan of wearing ties. But again, this rope has a little bit of a problem, because you can see it'll actually melt right through my neck. So it doesn't quite work so well as a necktie. It just melts through itself. So that's kind of cool there. The other thing that I like about this particular thing here is this. So it usually takes a couple of tries, but let's see here. Oh, see, look at that. Just like in love, right? We got a little bit of a heart going here, and we're trying to spear that heart, okay? And it does take a little bit. See, there you go, we got it, okay? And what that does is that puts a little bit of a knot into the rope, okay? Because, you know, you tie knots in somebody's heart. Love takes a couple of tries, and that's okay. Now, here's the fancy one right here, just like this. So everybody wishes when they were younger they could tie their shoes that quickly. And why is that? Well, we'd have more time to play, right? Okay? But just like before, you know, just like when you go to bed and stuff like that, and you're tying, I don't know, maybe I actually got a real knot in it this time. Yep, looks like we actually got a real knot in it. That can happen too sometimes when you're performing. You know, you get all tied up in knots and stuff, and that does happen. That's what these tests are for. You know, that's okay. That happens when I tie my shoes too. Sometimes when I go to untie them, it actually ends up getting into a worse knot. Or the knots will just fall out altogether. What do we do then? I don't know. I don't know. So there's some rope stuff. If you're interested in this rope stuff, this is a chance to get you guys familiar with different people. Doug Kahn, if you're not watching him, go check him out. He sells this on his website, and he gives you the tutorials for free. You can either check him out on his YouTube channel, or you can go to the website after you buy the product, and it's all there for you. It's all available. So go check it out. You got to do more stuff than just cards, because when you're doing stuff like this, it teaches you how to have routine and to have rhythm, and to really show you how to flow and progress through what you're doing. So there's a little bit of rope stuff. Speaking of coins, because I did lose my other stuff on the floor there, let's bring my coins out. We actually had... this teaches you a little bit when you're doing routine too. It says that there's 2 people on, which is fantastic. I mean, thanks for joining. I mean, that's absolutely great. So when you're setting up a routine, it doesn't matter if the people see what's going into it. I mean, some stuff you want to keep hidden if it's the punchline. But in this case, what we're going to do here is we've got 4 coins, okay? And what we actually want to do is we want to put them in my pocket. Okay, and then we're just going to use these coins just like that. Okay, now what you're going to notice is that when I push them into my hand, we're actually going to squeeze them just like that, and you're actually going to see that they turned into a 50-cent piece. Okay, we're actually going to need, let's see here, I got other coins in my pocket here. We're actually going to need 2 more quarters for this. Okay, so let's take a closer look here at what we've got going on here. And what we're going to do is we're actually, just like before, we're going to squeeze them into the hand just like that. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And you're going to see that we actually got a gold dollar because we squeezed out all the impurities and we got just a gold dollar left. So there you go. So that was a trick that I did yesterday or the day before. I think it was the day before. I call it money laundering because you're basically just changing the appearance of the money. We changed the quarters into a 50-cent piece, and then we changed everything into a dollar. And that can go right in the pocket. So here's what we're talking about again. Like when you're doing rope stuff, you want to progress from one thing to the next. Just keep in mind that you can actually just set everything up. Okay. For the next one, we're going to do 4 coins. These are Morgan dollars, and they're pretty cool. Things get pretty sweaty too, so you gotta practice so you can get used to that. When things get sweaty, things start to stick a little bit. So we got our 4 coins here, just like that. We're actually going to take, oh, dropped one. Throw them over to this hand, just like that. Okay, and then you'll notice you can kind of hear them rattling around there. The first one actually kind of just jumps across, just like that. Okay, it's a nice little coin. The next one you can actually hear as we drop it. The second one kind of dropped right there. Okay. Now, obviously, we've got 2 over here. And then let's go with something like this, where we're actually going to throw those right to the ground there, right to the floor. Those 2 that we had going on there. And you'll notice, give it a little bit of a blow. And we've got a 3rd one that'll pop right over there. And for the next one, we're actually going to just kind of bring it over, just bring it across, right just like this, pow. And all 4 of them show up over here on this side. So that's some good stuff there. Let's take a step back. The other coins, the money laundering one, I kind of came up with that idea myself. This one is, I've learned it 2 different places. I've learned it from Doug Kahn as well as from Jason Marr. This is called the PDQ 2 coin move. There's other ones that you can do. I still got to learn the coins across one, but this is just a nice little trick to have. This trick does require a table, so keep that in mind whenever you're doing some performances. You want to have enough moves that you can do stand-up and sit-down moves. This move does require a table or a flat surface because there is a move where you drop stuff. So keep that in mind there. So we've got a couple of coin moves. We got a couple of rope stuff. And let's move on to this. We've got a nice little ring here. It likes to roll. This trick does have a little bit of a hole in it. If you can see that, there's a hole right there. Okay, over to here just like that, and then as we wrap around our hand here, you can see that it has disappeared. It shoots up into the air over here. If you can see it, we're going to rematerialize it and put it right onto our finger, and then if we give it a little bit of a squeeze, you see it reappears with a little bit of pressure, because pressure does seem to work really well with metals. So there's that there. A little bit of ring stuff. Let's see if we can do something else here real quick. This one's a little bit tougher. Let's try it with this hand here. This one's a little bit tougher here as we kind of come down and across. You can actually see everything is right together there, and we just flashed that ring, but that's okay. Still practicing, and I don't wear the ring on this hand as much, but keep in mind again when it's sweaty. That's what I'm mostly talking either to myself or to whoever's watching, because hands get sweaty and then things kind of change a little bit for you. Here, let's take a look here. What do we want to do here? We're going to move on to this one. We really like the Ruins playing cards here. And we do have somebody watching. So if we have somebody watching, you can go ahead and pick a card if you want to. We'll pick any card you want in the pack. Okay. And let's see, what do we got? Some jokers here. And let's see here. What do we got going on here? Let's see here. Just some beautiful stuff going on. Let's look through the cards here real quick. Let's see here. We're just looking for some bonus cards. Oh, you already left. That's okay. We're gonna look for some cards here. I don't like those ones. No. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we're gonna try to pick out like the face cards, the number. Yeah, I don't know yet. Let's think about this real quick. People are dropping in and out. That's okay. Practice, practice, practice. So, yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, now why don't we go ahead and we're gonna mix them together, just like so. We'll try to get a really good mix in of these cards as well. So let's do one of these. And why don't we do a nice little riffle for you? Very nice. Okay. So let's make sure that the cards have been mixed together. They do look mixed up pretty good. We can do a couple of shuffles if we want to. And then what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and pick a random card from the center. We'll go through here like this, and we'll just go here. We're going to pick this card just like that. Okay. Give the deck a nice little shuffle. And then we're going to go ahead and put this card anywhere into the pack that we want, just like that. And it's going to go in as cleanly as possible without any breaks. We didn't keep anything. Okay, as you can see, and we'll even give it a little bit of a shuffle. So you think, and I think, that the card is well and truly lost. Okay, nice little cut. We'll spread the cards out again, just like that. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a fancy little cut where we're going to cut the cards in half, just like that. Okay, we've cut the cards in half there. Let's cut the cards in half here. Very good. Okay, now you have a choice between the two piles. Okay, you've got pile number 1 and pile number 2. If we snap our fingers, I don't think this is going to be your card. Could be, though. Looks like we've got, ooh, look at that. We've got black cards here, and we've got red cards here. And there's actually one red card over here, which is the 10 of diamonds, which most likely is your card. I'm just guessing. Because I don't know. I don't think I even showed you the card. I think I probably showed you the card. But yeah, so that is a beautiful little card trick right there for you. I hope you enjoyed, the one who's watching. If you were even here for the full thing, who knows? But let's go ahead and mix it back up, because we want to make sure that the black and red cards are, yes, good stuff. MNC Community, very nice, yes. This is one of my favorite deck of cards, just because I'm big into the whole Viking Ruin thing. And as you can see, there shouldn't be anything fishy going on with this deck either. I mean, it's just nothing fishy at all. There we go. Okay. We've got the extra cards here. We'll go ahead and put those back on top there. And we could do a couple more tricks with this deck. But we're going to move on to the next one here. This one is, let's take a look here. And I think it's probably preloaded. No, it's not loaded. Okay. Is this my regular deck or not? Nope, I've got that loaded here at the bottom. That's fine. Okay. So for this next trick, we're going to do something fancy. Fancy. Red bicycles are a pretty standard deck of cards to have in anything that you do. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and pick a card as fairly as possible. We're going to go ahead and pick it right from the center, just like that. Here's your card in my blind spot. I can't even see it. As we put it back into the center of the pack, roughly about where it was at. And then we'll do something like this, where we dribble the cards down, just like that. And if we have any luck, your card will have actually popped right back to the top. Okay. Now at this point, let me go ahead and take a look at the card. The 4 of spades. What a beautiful card. Let's go ahead and put it back into the center. You kind of get an idea of what's going on here as we show you all the cards. Your card has actually popped back up to the top of the deck. Now, here's the thing. Now that we know what your card is, we're actually going to cut the deck, and we're going to put it into the center. Okay. Now your card is in the Yep, dribble pass. We've been practicing it. I haven't got the Vertisos. We've looked at them, but we just haven't had a chance to get them. So we've launched your card into the pack, and it's actually quite amazing too, because we know what your card is, and that's fine. So we're going to take the jokers, and we're going to try to find your card. So what we're actually going to do, you can clearly see these two jokers. Hopefully your card isn't there. Your card isn't there. Nothing like that's happening there. But if we give the deck a little bit of a cut, boom, we've just made a magic moment. Your card is now in between the two jokers, and your card was the 4 of spades. Yeah, take a look. We've got a joker on the bottom, and we've got a joker on the top, and your card is right here. Okay, now take a look at this. Looking through the rest of the cards just like that, there are no duplicates, there's no extra cards, there's nothing. All there is, if you look at the pack right here. Oh, you didn't think that was magical? No, I know that wasn't like as magical as possible. But let's go ahead and let's go ahead and spread out the cards here, and you'll actually see that the jokers are now surrounding one card, and that is, of course, your 4 of spades. So that is a nice little sandwich trick learned from Jason Marr. It's going to get you there. So here's the nice thing about that trick. It only comes with like 2 or 3 moves that you have to do. But once you learn those moves, it can really help you up your game to another level. If you want this to be like like I did, I kind of did it as part of a small ambitious card routine, and then I led into the sandwich as the finisher. That is a really nice way to go about doing that. So I've been practicing that trick quite a lot, just because it gets you used to the handling. Oh, who is that? Somebody said, "What's up, man?" Let's see. We'll click down here. I do apologize for my setup here. Live chat. Hey, Juan. I'm doing fantastic. We're just hanging out doing a live practice because we want to get used to the flow of things. Going from different types of magic. We did some rope stuff. We did some coin stuff. Now we're working our way through some card stuff because we just want to know what it feels like to kind of go from one thing to the next. So that's kind of what we're doing here. Let's see here. What else do we got? Let's take a look at the cards that we've got going on here. Let's stick with the 4s because I feel like that's a good little way to go here. And because we just did some, work with the 4 of spades there. We're not going to need the jokers for this next trick. But what we want to do here is we want to actually, let's take a look at the 4s. What else do we need here? Let's see. 4s. See, the cards are starting to kind of stick together, but let me just show you the 4s that I've got going on here. There's the 4 of spades, the 4 of clubs, the 4 of hearts, and of course the 4 of diamonds. Okay, just like so. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put one of them down towards the bottom. I'm going to put one about halfway down, one about there, and then we should have left the one on top. Yeah, there's the one on top. Let's go ahead and push those in as fairly as possible. Nothing fancy there. Turn that right around so you can see there's no breaks. And if we're lucky, if we're truly lucky, we will still have all 4 of them right there on top. And there we have it. So that is a trick that I always say that's the first trick I ever really seen as a card trick. And it kind of just stuck with me. So when I got older and I started learning, I basically already kind of had the premise of that down. I absolutely love that trick. And the nice thing about that trick, to do that, you can either do it at the beginning or at the end. What's really nice about it is that you can get your favorite 4 of a kind out. So if you did the ambitious card or you had them pick a random card after you've done that trick, you can then have a reason to pull out all 4 of them. Because you can just say, hey, look, we've got a random 4 sets of cards here. Let's go ahead and do something like that. And then if you even wanted to, you can go into something a little bit different from there, which is this. We had your 4 of spades, which was your initial card here. We're going to try to keep in frame here. And then, so why don't we go ahead and put those cards in the center, just like that. And then we're going to put the 4 of hearts and the 4 of diamonds on the bottom. Okay, let's go ahead and push those in just like that. And then we'll go ahead and give it a little bit of a flip. Okay, now what we've got is we actually have something quite interesting that has happened here, because all these cards are face up except for some face down cards. Let's go ahead and flip those over, and you can see that the black 4s are now on the outside and the 4s are on the inside. Okay, and of course, as we go ahead and go to close these up, why don't we go ahead and just flip everything right back over just like that. And of course, if we've got anything lucky here, we're still looking at some face up cards, and we're still looking at some face down cards, and of course the 4s are right back to where they were before. So that is pretty much the same trick that we just did, but what that does is it opens up your options, because I do have another trick that I was working on that allowed me to do this, the same premise, but change it up a little bit every time. So last time we did it, we're encapsulating a card with the sandwich effect. This time we're changing the places of certain cards. So I really enjoy that. Okay, so there's some card tricks for you. Let's see here. 2 of diamonds. Just to set up this trick for you real quick, we're going to put these 4s in here like that. And we really like this trick. Go ahead and give the deck a nice little mix up here. I know that looked pretty fishy. That's okay. Nothing wrong with fish on Fridays. But today's Tuesday. So anyway, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and come off from here like this, and we're going to show you, we're going to stop about right there. Now, we're going to go with this card right here to start off with. Okay, this card is the 5 of spades. Okay, go ahead and put that right back on the top there. Give the deck a nice little cut and a nice little cut. And we spread out the cards, and you can see just by doing that little cut, we actually got a nice little color change going on here. That's actually, that little card change right there is the 5 of spades. It actually there has shown up. So let's go ahead and put that on the table. Now we're going to go ahead and cut it again just like this. Now that we've seen how this trick is done, we could go with this card, but we're actually going to go with that card. Okay, the reason why we're going to go with that card is you can actually see the moment that it's going to change colors. Okay, that card right there, you're actually going to see that moment where it changes colors just like this, right? Okay, snap our fingers. We're going to do a couple of little cuts here, just like that. Spread out the cards. And nothing. Okay, let's try that one more time. Oop, look at that little pyramid we got going on there. Okay, let's go ahead and do our cut again. Do our cut again. Okay, cut like this again. I know we're getting a little long on this one, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and try it again. You know what? I think we actually do have a card right here. It's a shot in the dark, but let's go ahead and try it out. The 2 of diamonds right there. Okay, so that is the 2 of diamonds, but if you look very closely at this 2 of diamonds, you got to look very closely at it, because we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it right here, just like that, and you will actually see we got a little extra card in there. There's the 2 of diamonds, 2 of diamonds right there. Okay, now, if with any luck, okay, because these color changing cards, you ever see those cups that change colors with the heat and the cold and stuff? They'll actually change back if you wait long enough. So that's pretty cool there. Okay, so there you have that. That is the Chicago opener. I learned that quite a while ago. I'm not even sure where I learned it from. But that last spades that I put on there, the reason why I did that is because whenever you're doing the color change effect, I try to stay away from effects that require that are solely reliant on another card. That can, like, as far as starting with this, because if you slip up with this trick, they're going to see the card. right? So doing it this way allows you to retain that other card and to get the deck back to where it needs to be, because we've got our 2 right here, okay? And here's the beautiful thing about this, right? If you wanted to reset up the trick, all you had to do, because all we did was we just did a double lift at the end there and kept the card on the top, okay? And that's pretty covered, because you can spread through the cards and just kind of keep that protected as much as possible. But here's what you would do to reset it. So here's the beautiful thing, right? To reset it, all you need to do, okay, is you're ending like this, right, with the card on the top. So all you need to do is just flip that back over, and they can see that. That's fine. And then all you need to do is get that double lift back, okay, and then just drop it to the table as you're showing them. Flip the deck over, and then just place it on here like this, okay. Now to do the reset, just strip that card out, because that's all you're doing is you're just showing them. You just want to show them that you still have the 2, right? Just show them that you still have the 2, placing their card on the table. Okay. And you're not, I mean, at this point, you're not really doing a trick or anything like that. You want to protect this vision here, because all you're doing is just trying to reset the trick. So if all you're doing is just resetting the trick, then now you're going back into place and you're resetting the trick. So from here, just if you want to do this finish where you want to preserve, if you want to do other tricks, then here's what my recommendation would be. This is here and this is here like this. You're showing the cards, and all you're doing is you're just preserving the trick. You're just, if you want to preserve it, then that's fine. Then you just put their card down here like this, strip off their 2, the other 2, and just put it in your pocket as you're spreading out the cards. Now you're set to go into any other trick you want. If you want to reset the trick, then this is still on top like that. Then all you're doing is you're just putting that back on top. You're grabbing both cards off like this. You're stripping the card from the top as you're placing the 2 back down. And now all you say is, okay. Well, again, you don't need to really say anything. You can kind of do this as you're going where you're showing them the cards. So let's try to do this in full speed here. You've shown them the 2. You've shown them that it's red. Okay. Now you're just talking to them, getting set up for the next trick. You're just going ahead and set up, turning the deck over if you want to do something like that. So now the deck has been set over. Strip the card. Okay. But you can't flash the bottom now. But all you have to do is just put it back on the bottom and flip it over. Now it's reset in a fashion like that. So just keep everything going, keep everything flowing, and you'll be golden. Okay, now going into the next one. Here's what I like to do for this one. Okay, so I've got 2 Tally-Ho decks, because if you're doing it over social media, all you got to say is this: do you have a deck of playing cards? No? Okay, I've got one for you. That's okay. If they do have one, you're just like, okay, here we go. We're just going to go ahead and put this off to the side because this one's closer, or however you want to do it. If they want to pick a deck, you can basically go like this. Okay, go ahead and pick a hand. Okay, if they pick the left hand, just say, okay, here you go. If they pick the right hand, you just say, here you go, because I like the left hand. Okay, now you go ahead and take out some cards. Got the jokers there, and everything is all good to go. Now they're just going to shuffle up. If they can shuffle, they can shuffle. If they want to cut, they can cut. Whatever they want to do, it's all fine, as long as they, make sure all the cards are face up like this. Now they're just going to go ahead and pick a card. We're going to stop right there. Very good. There's the 5 of hearts. Okay. Then they're going to go ahead and cut, and they're going to put their card face up like that, and they're going to put it back in the box. Now I tell them, before I even got started, I've been watching you this whole time. You've been doing a trick for me, but before we even got started, I actually flipped a card over in this pack. Okay? Yeah, I actually flipped a card over in this pack. You're not even going to believe, because just like you did, okay, we've got our 2 jokers right there on the top. Just like you did, we come through here, and we have one card that is flipped face down. So let's go ahead. Your card was what? The 5 of hearts, right? Okay. So now we are thinking. Let's see here. We're thinking. Um, that's not it. That's not it. We've got a lot of slippage going on here. Let's see here. So you get to this part, you're like, okay, we've got one face down card, and it looks like it's the 5 of hearts. That is, in fact, the only face down card, except for the ones that the ones that slipped there. But that's okay. So there is your face down card. And that's one way to do the invisible deck. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Um, yeah. So you can basically introduce a second deck, because here's the nice thing about it. You put that back and you're like, okay, that's a one-trick pony, but here we can go back to the other deck and then we can do some other tricks. One of my favorites here, we'll go ahead and flip this card back over for you. One of my favorites is we're going to actually go through the deck and we're going to do a little bit of a prediction. I'm going to try to read the cards, just like some fancy, smancy magician person. I don't know. Just making up words at this point. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. So we got 2 cards, and these are actually going to be our prediction cards, just like that. Okay. Now all I need like this is something you could do in your hands, but since I'm here, I'm just going to deal out cards. Now I could actually do 3 cards, 2 cards, 2 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards. You can tell me stop whenever. So let's go ahead and stop there. We're actually going to put the Queen of Spades there, drop these on top, because this is going to be my prediction. I'm kind of reading the deck. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the same thing again. 2. Let's go to 3. Let's go back to 2. Let's go to 1. Let's go to 2. Let's go to 5. And let's go ahead and put the 8 of hearts there for the next one. Boom, right there. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and mix up the deck, just like so. And you're going to notice as we spread through the cards here, yeah, right here. So here's this one, and here's this one. So here's where we stopped. Okay, if the cards were in your hand, then that's where you would have stopped, I'm guessing. At least that's the premise of what we're going with, right? There we go, just like so. And as you can see, we've got the 8 of hearts, and we've got the 8 of diamonds, and we've got the Queen of spades, and we've got the Queen of clubs right there. So now we have our prediction cards. And now, like, so before what we were talking about is we were doing the way that we were setting up the trick is we were pulling out a 4 of a kind with the other deck. This is a great way to get 2 pairs out of the deck, okay? Because this is one of my favorite things to do. And I did it with the 4 of a kind before, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the 8 and the Queen. So now you got 2 different cards, right? 2 different colors, okay? And these were my predictions. We're actually going to put them back right there. Let's see. We're actually going to, yeah, we're going to put those right there, just like so. We're actually going to put these cards right here, because these were the cards that were in the deck. Now, here are my prediction cards. We're actually going to put the 8 opposite of the other 8 right there. And we're going to put the Queen opposite of the Queen. And now they're back in the center. So now my prediction cards are going to find your selected cards. Okay? We snap our fingers, and you can see we've got your card right there. And we've got your card right there. And as you can see, just like so, we've got your cards right there. Okay. My prediction cards are actually back into the center. Okay, this is the tricky part, because there's a little bit of an extra part that we've got going on with this, and I kind of have to remember how I did it. I think it required a, yeah, it was, yeah, I think it was something like this. Then we're going to go ahead and flip everything back over the way we just had it. Then we're going to spread through the deck, and we have your 2 cards back into the center, the 8 of diamonds and the Queen of clubs. Okay, but if we take a closer look at the rest of the pack, my prediction cards are back out of the pack. Okay, they're no longer in the deck. They're actually right here in. There's one, and there's two. Both of them right in the deck box where I keep them nice and handy because they are my locator cards. Something like that, just something you can do, deck to, card to deck box, something, anything like that. What that kind of does, in my mind, this is part of my practicing thing here, is if you're going to introduce a gaff deck, you wanna keep things moving along, and you can always return to the gaff deck, or if you're going to do a deck switch, so not even using the same deck. For instance, like if I were going to do something like this, where I flipped over your card, and then we're like, okay, well, let's go ahead and try something a little bit different out here. We're actually going to, as I'm talking, basically, all I did was just let's do something a little bit different. We've got your card upside down in the pack, and let's think about something really nicely here for a second. And maybe somebody would notice that I actually switched the packs. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they would. Who knows? But just getting that little bit of an exchange going for a deck switch, or if you want to do something a little bit different, if you're using bicycles, there's way more gaff decks for the bicycles. You can actually switch it out for a different type of gaff deck if you want to do something like that. So that gives you an idea of how to effectively switch out a gaff. This is my favorite gaff deck at the moment, just because I can literally just go down through the cards just like so. We're going to stop right there. We got the Six of Hearts. What a beautiful, beautiful Six of Hearts, right? Spreading through the cards just like so. We're actually going to just dribble down through the cards. We find your card right up there on top. Now you're thinking, that's pretty impressive, right? Pretty impressive, because I flipped the deck over a couple of times. I did a lot of other sneaky moves. Let's go ahead and cut the cards a little bit. Now you're wondering, can I get your card to the top? Well, let's find out. Let us find out if we can get your card to the top. A little bit of shuffling and a little bit of a cut and a lot of other weird stuff going on there. And let's see if we got your card to the top. That is, in fact, the Six of Hearts. Right there on top, the arrow right to you. Now, I could actually find your card at any point in the deck if I wanted to. We're actually going to find it here in the center because I just said so. Okay, we can also find your card right here at the bottom because, I kind of said so. And now, since we know your card was on the bottom, we're actually going to put it right there on the top. Okay, right there on the top, just like so. Oh, that's the Seven of Hearts. So what we've actually done is we've actually moved it up in the world, if you know what I'm saying, right? Okay. But of course, if we go ahead and we go to put your card right there on the table, it's gone. And what was that? That was the Seven of Hearts, correct? Nope, it's the Six of Hearts. Back on top where it should be. All sorts of fancy stuff. But now here's what you're really wondering. Here is what you're really, 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 really wondering. Okay? We can control that card to anywhere in the pack. We've just proven it, right? But what if we did something a little bit different and we actually trying to find your card? Okay. Think about this. There are 52 possible cards in the pack. What if we just went like this? And we picked up some cards just like that. Okay. And now we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And of course, 11 is a beautiful number because there is your Six of Hearts at 11. Okay, you don't think that's fancy enough? You don't think that's fancy enough? Why don't we do something like this? Okay, your card is not on top. There's another 6 there. Let's go with 4, 5, and we're going to say that the 6th card is your card, right? The 6th card is your card. Now let's go ahead and shuffle it up. The question is, can we find your card? Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Ka-chow. We've just cut the deck right in half, just like so. It looks like we've actually got 3 cards here. None of those are your cards. Let's see, where is your card? We're just cutting cards here. We're just cutting cards. See if we can find your card. We may have messed up here. We may have messed up. Who knows? Nope, still haven't found your card. Maybe it'll be the last card that we find. Maybe it's over here in this pile. Just like so. Maybe it's over here. Nope, still haven't found your card. I didn't take it out of the pack or anything like that. We got half a deck right here. There we go. Okay, we found your card right there. It was halfway down through there. Sometimes that can happen. That was unintentional. When you're mixing cards up and stuff, you can lose stuff from time to time. Okay, here is your card. Now we're going to mix up the pack, and we're going to pick out 3 random cards. 1, 2, 3. It'd be really cool if these were the 4 6s, but there's an ace, a 2, and a 4. Okay, now we're going to put these together, just like so. And let's see here. Can we get them into the pack? We're going to put them at 4 different places. What is happening? There's only 2 cards there. There's the 2, and there's the 4. See, now this is where it's getting wonky because we're just making stuff up. Okay, now what if we were to put this card here, this card here. Let's see what we got there. Put this card here. What am I doing? Put this card here, put this card here, and put this card right here. Now, all 4 of those cards are going into the pack as quick as day. We're just going to do a quick little shuffle up to the... Yeah, just like that. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. I think I messed up again. I sure did. I sure did. But there's your... I don't know. There's your card right there. Okay. So what we are doing is we're actually just playing around with the stripper deck. Every once in a while, what you got to do is you've got to think about how I set up a trick. So let me consider this. This is the stripper deck, which means it's a stripper deck. And I want to think about what I want the card trick to look like, and I want to think about what cards I want to use for that particular trick. Now, one of the things that I enjoy, and I'm not going to show you here, because we are going to wrap this up because we are at about 50 minutes. So thank you for coming along and practicing with me. I appreciate it. The stripper deck is a very interesting deck where you can do kind of a lot of crazy things. Okay. And one of those crazy things, like we just said, is this. We're going to use the Jack of... Pretty sure that was the Jack of Clubs. Okay. And there's your 6 of Hearts still right there. But we're going to use the Jack of Clubs. We're going to put that right into the center of the pack, just like that. Then we're going to give the deck a nice little cut. And we should have your card right there back on top. And then we're going to put it into the front. I'm going to show you all these cards that are in fact different. And of course, your card comes right back to the top yet again. This time what we're going to do is we're actually going to take your card separately. We're going to dribble the cards and put it into the center. That way you know as we go to mix up the cards that your card is clearly not on top. So there's the ace. As we're going to spread through the cards, your card should be in the middle. Let's see here. That's the queen. That's the king. Somewhere towards the middle, there's the Jack of Spades. We're getting too far here. What's going on here? And yep, your card's back on top. So, who knew? Who knew? Okay, how about one of these? We're going to put it into the center. You're clearly going to see that it is halfway down, just like so. Okay, and just to show you that none of the other cards are in fact face up, but if we turn the cards over, your card is on the bottom. Okay, why is that? I don't know. Okay, let's try one more thing where we take your card, put it into the center, and we're going to put it right down in there. We're going to go ahead and cut the deck. I'm going to cut it again. And then we're going to go ahead and peel off the cards just like that. Give it a nice little cut. And we've proven before that if we cut it like this, just like that, your card should show up right on top. There it is again. Okay, now I've got a good one for you. Here is a good one. Okay, because we really enjoy this particular trick. Okay, as we put this into the center, it is truly into the center. Now let's go ahead and look through the cards, just like so. Let's see here. Just making sure angles are good. I'm trying to do something here with. I've never actually done it like this, so let's take a look. And okay, now what we've done here is, of course, we've jumped all the jacks. Nope, that's a 7. That's a jack. That's a jack. And that's a jack. And the other jack's got to be here somewhere. It's actually the 7 of hearts. But we didn't want that one. We wanted this one. So all 4 jacks are on top because these jacks definitely like to jump. Okay? These jacks definitely like to jump. And I'll show you. I'll show you exactly what I mean. When these jacks like to jump. Okay. So jacks like to jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've seen this trick before. Okay. Now, when we did it with the other deck, we had to do it a little bit differently. But with this deck, I believe we've actually left. Nope. That's still the 7. Okay. So let's go ahead and put those in. We're going to give the cards a cut this time, just to prove something very special to you, because these jumping jacks, as quick as a flash, these jacks jump back to the top. That's the 8 of hearts this time. Oh, because we got the 6 of hearts still, but there's your jack hiding right there towards the top. Yeah. So the jumping jacks. So we're going to call it good right there, but first we're going to hide all these jacks back into the deck because they don't want to sit out. They want to be hiding with their friends. I promise you, I'm not doing anything fancy. That is the end of it. The jacks are, in fact, well and truly hidden throughout the deck. See? Didn't do anything. Okay. Put this back here. I did have some other stuff that I did want to do early on, but I dropped it. So maybe next time I won't drop it. But there we go. We got 53 minutes of a live practice. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the stuff that we were going through here. I have a lot more card material than I have other stuff, so I got to really practice that. I do have some coin stuff, so I'm kind of happy about that. But you can't beat a single coin. That's one thing that I figured out. And when I was doing that money laundering trick, when I first was trying to put it together and had the idea for it, it actually just started out as just changing one coin from one to the other. So that's really where you start with. Just come up with the idea. At least this is how it works for me. Come up with what you want the trick to look like, and then reverse engineer it from there, and then just learn the moves that you need in order to make it happen or make it easier. Because sometimes you'll actually find that there are moves that are easier than what you're trying to do. So there you have it. So thank you for joining, and remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And we'll see you tomorrow for some really nice deck reviews. We've got some more stuff tomorrow that it's going to be beautiful. So we'll see you then. And I've already said the thing, so goodbye.